Hello, hello. Welcome to day 5 of becoming, or actually day 1, silly me. Welcome to day 1 of Becoming a Diamond, Unleash Your Purpose. See, I'm so excited. I just want it to be day 5. I want you to already be at the end and have all of this learning. And so today we are going to be talking about attitude. We're going to be talking about attitude and the importance of persistence. But before we get into all of that, there's just a few details that I want to share. So first of all, congratulations. Congratulations to all of you who have decided to make yourself a priority. This is Monday. This is the start of a new week. It's the start of something fresh. And you are all here, whether you are watching live or you're catching it on a replay, because you have made a decision. And that's the first start. You've made a decision to make yourself a priority and to make yourself important. Good morning, Kelly. So happy to see you here. And so I wanted to first start off by saying congratulations to each and every single one of you. The other important thing is that we have a workbook. We have a workbook here in the group that has been designed specifically for this workshop. And this workbook is really, really important because it's your guide to the week. But above all of that, you can listen to as many trainings, you can receive as much education. But if you do not apply what you are learning, it will not stick. And so this workbook has been designed to help you apply everything you're going to be learning this week. And so if you have not received your workbook yet, please let us know in the comments below and we will direct you to where you can get your workbook. It's really, really important that you do this for this week. I cannot stress that enough. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is that myself and Jordana, so Jordana is our Diamond Concierge here in the group. She's a lovely lady. If you have not met her yet, if you have not seen her posts or had a conversation with her, I encourage you to do it because she is just a bright, bright spirit and bright soul. And we have made ourselves available this week. And so if you have not yet had your breakthrough activation call, I would encourage you to book that with myself because my purpose is to help set you up for success. My purpose is to help guide you, to help you discover what your goals are, if that's an area that you're struggling with, to help you figure out what it is that you need to really and truly work on. What are your challenges? What are your struggles? And to provide you with tangible things that you can do when you leave that call so that it sets you up for success, whether that's in business or whether that's in relationships, life, wherever it happens to be. So I encourage you, for those of you who have already booked your calls, for those of you that I've already spoken with, it's been fabulous. But for those of you who have not, please let us know. If you would like a breakthrough activation call, let us know in the comments below, and we will make sure that you receive this call. But above all that, myself and Jordana are here to answer any questions that you may have. So as you go through the training this week, if something comes up, if you don't know where to find something, or if you have some questions or you want some clarification, please do not hesitate to reach out to either of us. The other thing that is really, really important. So this week, what can we expect? All right, Kelly, we'll be in touch with you. So for this week, today, we are going to be talking about attitude and persistence. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about gratitude and the power in auto-suggestion. Wednesday, we're going to be talking about fears and trusting your intuition. On Thursday, I am going to be interviewing a special guest who has harnessed the power of the mind, who's harnessed the ability to manifest the life of her dreams. And she's going to be providing information and tidbits in terms of how you can also do the same regarding manifestation. So if there's one live that you want to be on, I would encourage you to be on that one. And then Friday, we're going to be talking about decision and the power of decision making. I am going to be coming to you live all this week, Monday through Friday, at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be coming on for a special live where we're going to do wrap-up. We're going to do our takeaways from the week. But the other thing that's really excited is I am going to be doing the giveaway live on Sunday at 6 p.m. So if you have not gotten into this giveaway, we are giving away $250. And all you have to do, you're already participating, you're already registered in this training, you're already seeing the value in this. All you have to do is share this training, is share this group, is encourage your network to join. And if you do that, you'll receive a ballot for $250. Super easy. So if you're interested in the giveaway, let us know, and we will get that information to you. So above all else, everything else, what I would say to you for this week is you need to try and keep your mind open. You need to engage. So if you're not watching the lives, that's okay. But if you catch them on a replay, engage in the video, comment as you're watching it, and have fun and remain open. Because this is how you learn. You not only learn by asking the questions, but you learn from others as well. And I guarantee if you have a question, somebody else probably has that same question. And so I encourage you to participate, to be engaged, and let's have fun together. Okay, so today we are here to talk about attitude and persistence. And so attitude and persistence really, truly kind of go hand in hand. Can you see that? Because if you have an attitude where you're struggling, or if it's negative, or if you're having a hard time, your desire to be persistent in anything that you do will likely be lower than if you have an attitude that is positive. Than if you have an attitude of, I may not know this now, but I'm not going to give up and I'm going to try to push through. That gives a much different sense of wanting to continue on if you have that attitude. And so that's why I wanted to talk about these two topics together, because I really think that they kind of blend nicely. And so let's talk about attitude. Let's talk about attitude. What is that? Well, attitude, it's one of the most important factors that really helps you get through the highs and lows in life. Good morning, Jolly. It really, truly does. Because attitude spells out how you cope. It spells out how you deal with things on a day-to-day basis. It really does. And so whatever perspective you might hold, whatever that perspective is, it invariably will have an effect. It will have an effect in your performance, and it will have an effect on how you view things. It will have an effect on how you approach situations, on how you approach every single day. And attitudes are formed by our experiences, and that starts from even a really, really young age. It's our experiences, it's our upbringing, it's what informed our values and our beliefs, and that's where our attitudes come in. But these experiences leave us with a perception. And our perception of what we experienced is not necessarily always based in facts. It's not necessarily always based in the reality of situations. And then on top of that, our mind has a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. There's two levels. And our conscious mind acts as a filter. It acts as a filter to our subconscious mind. It decides what our subconscious mind is going to hear. But our subconscious mind controls our thoughts, our feelings, and inevitably our actions. And so our subconscious mind is hostage to our conscious mind. And so if our conscious mind has these perceptions that are not necessarily based in facts or not necessarily based in reality, that is how we see things. And that is what informs our attitude. It fuels our attitudes, our thoughts, and our behaviors. So if we're feeding our subconscious mind with inaccurate perceptions, what do you think is going to happen? It will breed negativity. It'll breed a lack of gratitude, of seeing life through a lens that is negative, and that then impacts everything that we do. And it shapes our beliefs, which inevitably shapes our attitudes. So attitude really inherently has a basic structure. And this basic structure is essentially formed by us. So we are the only person that has control over our attitude and our perceptions. Nobody else. We are the only one. We may not necessarily have control over situations that we find ourselves in. We may not necessarily have control over how individuals behave towards us or what people say towards us. But we have control on how we internalize that. And we have control over how we allow that to impact our life. And that's where the power is. Because what happens is if you espouse a specific belief over and over and over again, it inevitably is going to become permanent in your subconscious mind. And you may not even be aware of that. And then what happens is that comes out of you. That then comes out of you. And so if you have a belief that people are not to be trusted, if that's something that you believe based on your experiences, then that's going to come out. That's going to come out in your relationships, your intimate relationships, your relationships in the workforce, your relationships with your friends, with your family. And so that's why attitude and really, really digging deep into your beliefs and what they're based in, that's why it's so, so important. And you can see that if you live a life where it's negative, it's going to make your life really, really hard. Now, if you reverse that and you have a positive attitude, then imagine going through the highs and lows of life, because life will always have highs and lows. You will always be faced with challenges and circumstances. And then likewise, you'll be faced with great things that happen to you. But if your attitude is positive as you go through those lows, it will make those challenges much, much easier to overcome. It really and truly is common sense. And so when you're going through those trials and those tribulations, your attitude is going to be what helps you to push through. That's going to be what helps you. And so even before any kind of difficulty happens, a person's mindset has to be able to have a certain level of positivity combined with realism. Hey, Delroy. And so it's that fine balance. It's that fine balance of positivity and realism. You want to ensure that you are perceiving whatever you are facing from a place of facts, not from how you see the situation. And so again, you cannot have absolute control over everything in your life, but your attitude and your approach and how will help you in terms of how you choose to handle these situations and obstacles. That is within your control. It's a very powerful concept. And if you learn that, and if you practice that, it will become easier. Because our attitude about any state or any condition is always within our power to choose. And if you've, historically come from a place where you didn't feel that, this is a hard concept. It's a hard concept to take on. But it's absolutely and unequivocally true. It's accurate. Attitudes are rooted in our beliefs. And that's unique across all individuals. And it forms over the course of our life. But if we have negative beliefs, or if we have negative, experiences that we have gone through, we can change how we view that. And that's why it's important to do the work. Just because you had a negative experience in the past, why give power to that negative experience currently, now in your present, and then into the future? Why allow it to continue to have that power? That stops. That stops here today. It's time for you to take control back. It really and truly is. Good morning, Martinette. So let's take back that control. Because it's really, really important for you to understand that a person whose heart is not into what they are doing, that is because of their attitude. And so you may have these goals that you want to achieve for yourself. And you may feel that these are within your purpose. That's what we're talking about here this week, is how to unleash your purpose. And so your goals, you may feel aligned with them. You may feel this is what you are here to do. But if your attitude comes from a place of negativity and from a place of lack, it makes achieving those goals, and in essence achieving your purpose, that much more difficult and that much more of a struggle. And so it really is simple. It really is simple. A positive attitude will produce more favorable results. That's the bottom line. And negative attitudes, that helps to generate failure. And so we all have within us the power to respond to any given situation in any way we want, regardless of the circumstances. And this is where you have the choice to either react positively or negatively. This is where you have the choice. So let me ask you a question. I asked this before in one of my previous trainings, but I'm going to ask it again because I think it's a really, really powerful example of how to show attitude and then segue into persistence, how important it is. So let's say that you have something that you are striving to achieve, and you did one attempt and it didn't work. The second, the third, the fourth didn't work all those times. And on the 5th attempt, you finally achieved what it was that you wanted to achieve. How would you feel going through that process? How would you feel of attempting over and over and not achieving what you wanted to achieve? But then eventually you do. What are some things that come to mind? Do you feel inadequate? Do you feel incompetent? Do you start to tell yourself you're a failure? Do you get angry? Do you have that why me syndrome? Or maybe you feel accomplished because you finally got it. Maybe you feel proud. Think of a time when this happened to you. And let me know in the comments below how you felt as you went through that process. So let me tell you something that's quite surprising actually. A lion, the success rate of a lion when a lion is hunting is exactly that. 1 out of 5 attempts. So imagine the lion, one of the most powerful animals in the world, one that is feared in the animal kingdom. If a lion gave up after the first attempt, or the second attempt, or even the third, what would have happened? The lion would have become extinct. The lion would no longer be seen as one of the most powerful animals in the animal kingdom. And so this is really important because it illustrates the power of attitude coupled with the power of persistence. The Wright brothers, another example. They were ridiculed when they had this idea of humans being able to fly. They were ridiculed. And so imagine if they allowed that to then affect them and to no longer pursue their dreams or their goals. We would not know airplanes as we know it today. Thomas Edison, thousands upon thousands of attempts before the light bulb was invented. What would have happened if he had given up? These are just examples of individuals here in the world, in history, that have demonstrated the power of attitude and the power of persistence. Albert Einstein states that failure is actually success in progress. And so the lion, the Wright brothers, Edison, all demonstrate this principle in action. Because failure only happens if you quit. If you choose to persist and to find different ways, you're not a failure. Not at all. You're pivoting, you're shifting. You still have your goal in mind. You're just trying to find a different way to reach that goal. So no matter what you do in life, there is going to be times where things don't necessarily go according to plan, where you feel that things are working against you, or maybe people are working against you. There's going to be those times when you feel like you have failed. No one likes to experience challenges. However, if you change your attitude towards the experience by looking at it from a lens of how do I learn from it, more often than not, you're going to be able to progress further because of that attitude of what can I learn? Not, oh, I'm a failure, I have failed, I'm not going to continue on. So if you can develop this attitude of seeing the good or learning from a situation, you're going to find it easier to develop the concept of perseverance. Being persistent doesn't mean that you never change course of action. In fact, it's the opposite. The goal will always remain the same for you, but you can shift. And in fact, understanding and recognizing when you need to shift is key, rather than sitting in this feeling of, I failed. How many of you have done that? You thought you were on the right path to achieving your goals, and something happened, an obstacle happened, a challenge happened, and then you sat in this feeling of, oh, I thought I had it, but I didn't. And so now I'm not going to go on. And you sit in that and you allow it just to become this vicious cycle. And so the next time you experience some form of difficulty in your life, that's right, Delroy, you need to see the good. I'm going to challenge you to stop and to ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this? How is this going to make me a better person? No failure, only feedback. I love that, Manisa, because it's so true. And so you had some homework. You had some homework from the introduction video. So for those of you who caught it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you have not watched the introduction video, I challenged you to put pen to paper. And I asked you to create a list of what you truly, truly want in your life, whether it's professional, whether it's personal, because we are here to unleash your purpose. And so I asked you to turn off what you think people expect of you, turn off your fears or worries about other people's opinions, or your fears or worries about how are you even going to accomplish this. I don't even want that to enter your mind. I want you to really dig down deep and think about, if there were no barriers, there was no fears, no issues around money, what would you truly want in your life? And so I'm asking you today to hold yourself accountable, because that's what we're here for. And so I want you to share in the group. I want you to do a post and share one thing from that list of what you want to manifest, what you truly want in your life. One goal that is free from all barriers. And so that's your homework. And I expect to see it in the group. Post upon post upon post, and let's cheer each other on. Let's support one another. And so I am going to challenge you again in this video, because we are here talking about persistence. And so you've already made the decision to put yourself first. You've already made the decision to participate in this training. And so are you ready to take your life by your hands? I'm going to challenge you to participate every day, to show up every day in this group, in this training. Watch the live videos or catch them on replay and engage and comment and ask questions. You're going to persist through the entire week. You're going to do the activities in the workbook. You're going to apply the teachings and the learning. And if you persist through, if you take on this challenge, I guarantee you will see shifts. I guarantee you will be enlightened. And so if you're ready to take back control or to take greater control over your life, I want you to drop persistent in the comments below. I want you to hold yourself accountable and to recognize that you are important and you're going to persist through. So persistence. And so again, as a recap, you're going to drop your one goal in the group. You're welcome, Jolly. So good, Laura. Persistent. And so you're going to drop in the group your one goal. That is fear from obstacles. There's no barriers. Persistent, Martinique. Persistent, Kelly. You are important, Delroy. You're all so important. And so let's declare it. Let's declare it. Drop your goals in the group. Just one goal. Put it in a comment so we can cheer you on. Make sure you download your workbook. Make sure you're applying what you are learning every single day and get on a call. Get on a call. Those are gold. Thank you so much for participating today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we talk about gratitude and the power of autosuggestion. Appreciate each and every one of you.